Hi, and welcome again in video number 7 in the series War on Depression. And again, this one will be about stress and distress by feeling less. Today I would like to talk to you about 10 forms of behavior or feelings that may lead to an overload of stress or tension in your current life. And before we start, I would like to repeat how I consider our natural state of being, or IPS, the inner peace state. In my opinion, every human being has a natural state of being which consists of being at ease, feeling calm and peaceful, feeling connected with other human beings, feeling joy and compassion, and feeling love and satisfaction. This is how we feel when we completely live our lives according to our natural state or inner peace state, the IPS. Of course, we understand that everyday challenges can drag us away from this IPS, and it does, as we found out in our previous video. Challenges that bring up all kinds of emotions, good or bad. Emotions that force us to respond to them, mainly with our behavior. And we talked about the famous fight, flee and freeze response theory, the behavior we apply as a response when a trigger drags us away from our natural state of being, the IPS. The less you feel your natural state of being at ease and peaceful, the more likely you suffer from tension and stress. And if this situation continues long enough, it ends up in frustration, disappointment, despair, and even depression. We presented stress as the sickness through repeating existential survival strategies, because often the source of your stress comes from behavior and survival strategies that you already adopted in an early stage of life, mainly during childhood. And you keep on repeating them, hoping it will lead to something positive with respect to the fulfillment of your needs. And it doesn't, as we will find out. Let's start to take a closer look at the day-to-day life top 10 behaviors that we apply when we feel triggered and are pulled away from the IPS we want so much. Number 1, behaving over-responsible. Tending to feel very responsible for solving certain challenges at work, in your family, or elsewhere in your life. There's nothing wrong with being responsible. There's everything wrong with being over-responsible. It puts a lot of pressure on your shoulders, specifically when you also feel responsible for other people's happiness, which will, in the end, always lead to disappointments, frustrations, dissatisfaction, and working even harder by taking even more responsibilities upon you. Number 2, perfectionism. Trying to be or act perfectly puts much stress into your system. Why are we trying to be or do something that has to be perfect? What is that to win if you succeed in being perfect, and do you ever succeed in being perfect? Perfectionism is about the need to prove something to others to feel validated and self-worth, which it will never bring because enough will never be enough. It's a bottomless pit, deriving from childhood trauma most of the times as well. Number 3, pleasing. Always putting other people first and putting yourself second and even last. Pleasing is an attempt to peacing, as I call it, an attempt to keep the peace even at the cost of your own needs. Not being able to say no or no more. Worried that this might arouse other people's emotional waves in a negative way. A situation you try to prevent at all costs. Why? Because you feel very unpleasant and awkward when confronted by other people's emotions. You try to avoid these situations, which leads to more frustrations and stress inside you. Number 4, being oversensitive. You may now think, yeah, but I am oversensitive. This is just the way I am and not behavior I have adopted or something I can change. And you're right. Every child is born hypersensitive. Some children lose the sensitivity when growing up, and some don't lose it because they believe it still serves a purpose in their lives, or just because it's still present in adult life. Being hypersensitive often leads to picking up and absorbing other people's emotions, and thus also picking up their unhappy feelings. You may feel the pressure to do or be something to make these unhappy feelings disappear. And then we go back to the first behavior, over responsibility. But the emotions you pick up from others may remind you of childhood pain or trauma that you haven't healed yourself yet. Thus, the negative emotions of others connect with something unhealed inside you that resonates with a similar pain as the one you are picking up, which brings you uncomfortable negative emotions as well, leading to stress. Number 5. You are less stress resilient than you would like to admit, and you try to hide this from the outside world. In current society, pressure on your shoulders at work or family or otherwise can be immense. It is possible that you have adopted the thought that you should be able to deal with this amount of stress to stay ahead in the day-to-day rat race. So you do everything to hide that you are not as stress resilient as you would like to look capable, to look tough, to stay alive. I don't have to explain how this type of behavior can wear you down in the end. Number 6. Perseverance. A healthy amount of perseverance can be seen as a positive aspect of your life. But what happens when you cannot determine when enough is enough, and you use more energy than is available in your system? When do you stay loyal to life situations that turn out not to be that healthy for you? Like a job or a relationship. You can persevere to the bitter end, hoping it will turn out positive, resulting in negative results. Number 7. A low sense of self-value or self-esteem. Sometimes we do not really know our own value for the outside world. We see confident people around us not having the issue of this low self-esteem or self-value, or at least it seems like this. So we try to act strong and start proving to others and ourselves that we have a certain value or self-worth. And all of this proving is stressful, because when you start proving, it will never end. And you will always feel that you have to prove, defend, or explain something to give yourself self-esteem or self-validation. Number 8. Stimulus addicted. To be short, never being able to go into your natural state of being, which is calmness, the IPS. Not being able to meet silence. Always busy. Always a huge to-do list in your head. Always running around like a madman or woman. Ending the day in exhaustion, or even feeling this exhaustion already halfway through the day. In the meantime, when you carefully look at it, you are always worrying or stressed by subjects, events, or whatever that do not really matter. That is not really very important, urgent, or even life-threatening. Still, you run around like a stressed shopper on steroids during sales season. Number 8. Searching for a meaning in life. You have had it all, but still you feel bored. You would like to know the deeper meaning of your life, but you never know your direction and the path you would like to walk to feel more meaningful. You also do not really know who you are, and even have doubts about your identity and where you belong in society. Always searching for a direction and an identity without getting true clarity. As you can imagine, this never-ending search can be very tiring and stressful. Number 10. Last but not least, the search for true love in life. Something we would like to have so much in our lives. Not just a relationship or a partnership, but true, sincere, honest, respectful, supportive, patient, solid, compassionate love or self-love. Again, this craving and the search for fulfillment and dealing with disappointments in this area can be very stressful and put a lot of pressure on your energy. Okay, this was our top 10 for today. And for now, I would like to give you a little assignment as a result of this video. Check for yourself which of these 10 behaviors or situations apply to you. Which ones do you recognize? Are you, for example, the very responsible person at work, but also the one who always feels responsible for the people around you and their happiness? And rate these top 10 items as well. A rating of 1, then it's not so much applicable. A rate 10, when it's very applicable to you. Second part of the assignment, then take the top 5 of highest ratings and write them down, starting with the following words. The thoughts, emotions, and most of all behavior that cause me to suffer the most from stress are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like responsibility, pleasing. Write them down. Write down after each item what I hope to get from this behavior or these thoughts concerning the fulfillment of my needs is, and then please choose from the following: inner peace, affection, intimacy, continuation, clarity, appreciation, recognition, safety, or the feeling to be a good person, and also write down the reason why. Next part. Now, write down an answer to this following question. Do I actually fulfill this need by applying this behavior? And answer it with yes or no, and please be honest. So, for example, do I actually fulfill this need for appreciation by applying this behavior, taking a lot of responsibility? And answer with yes or no and be honest. Last but not least, answer this question. The reasons I still find to continue this behavior to receive the fulfillment of this need, while I realize now that it is mainly leading to a frustration, is... So again, with an example. The reasons I still find to continue this behavior, for example, taking a huge amount of responsibility to receive, for instance, appreciation, while I realize now it's mainly leading to frustration, is... What is your reason to continue this behavior? Okay. Good luck with this assignment, and I will see you in the next video in our series, War on Depression. I salute you.